There is blood on this administration's hands, and no one can hide it. It's out there now. There's no censoring this now either. Welcome to Hawaii Preppers Network 808. We are now witnessing our country being raped and pillaged, and just everything is occurring and coming down on the American citizens. The American people have all been violated, and it is time to do something before things get worse, and we all see things beginning to get worse by the day, by the second, by the hour. The atrocities are astronomical. And these states that are sanctuary states should denounce that. It's crazy. Everything is turning just insanely crazy now. Who'd ever imagine that America would turn this way? Who would ever fathom such insanity going on now? Now is the time for the people of America to take a stand and take a stance, to hold our administration, Republicans as well as Democrats, accountable and responsible for all things. Now is the time. If we do not take the stand and resolve issues, resolve matters in every way possible, we are seriously looking at a civil war. And, I've heard before some people talk about the civil war coming down in America, and some of them would say in just a few short years, but it's looking like in just a few short months. And I think you all agree. All hell is going to break out in this country. It's going to break out everywhere. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Is your family ready? Is your family prepared? Your children? Are you stocked up? Do you have protective measures and tools with you and with your family? Have you trained not just yourself, but each and every family member in how to use these tools that would help to protect and keep you and all of your family safe and secure? Now, I think we all know that it's not if, but when a civil war will break out, all laws that were written on the books, all bets are off. No one's going to follow it. It's going to be pandemonium. And right now, things are headed in the lawless direction, starting from the top. Folks, things have gotten out of hand, has just totally gotten way out of hand. And we, the people, are the ones with the power. We have the power that they are afraid of. And it's time to take back our power and seat that power of ours into place now. I hope most of the people are watching what's going on and being aware of everything that's going on, not just globally, but in the United States and in our states. I hope the residents and people of Hawaii are paying attention and not being distracted and becoming more and more aware of what's going on economically, financially, globally, and all of these things. I can only hope, and one can have a dream. I've been really getting into this precious metals thing, and as you can tell, but I've been doing some research here, looking into other countries, and just reading about their insatiable appetites for gold. And I'm finding out that I think it is China and Russia that is really hoarding quite a lot of gold. But not just that. The people in China, Gen Zs, are actually buying a lot of gold, whether it be jewelry, coins, and or bars. Now these are your 30 to 40 something year olds, you see, and they're buying the gold because they know that the economy is tanking. Their economy is tanking, and they see that precious metal as a store of wealth. They're not looking at real estate because real estate tanked there a couple years ago, and they don't trust it, and they don't trust anything else, let alone their own government. So they're pouring their hard-earned money into gold. So that kind of makes one wonder, my gosh, if they're doing it, why are not the American people in America doing it? Instead, a lot of Americans pour their money into things that have no value and depreciate. But the precious metals appreciates. So if you have a $100 bill today, and you save that $100 bill for a year or 2 years, it's still going to be a $100 bill. Now, if you have a 1 ounce gold bar, well, you get that today, and in a year, you know it's going to appreciate, and it might be beyond 5,000 an ounce, because gold has only appreciated. I think a lot of our priorities are in different areas, and our perspectives about different things as well. But the more and more I study these markets, the more and more I look into gold and silver, and why, the reasons why people actually go into it, either as a collector and or a stacker. It adds up. Everything just simply adds up. Watching all these financial advisors, the economists, and all these people that are talking about these markets and showing where they are actually headed, it only makes so much sense to be holding physical assets such as gold and silver. Now, a lot of these analysts are saying that gold and silver is going to explode by this year, sometime this year. And I think nobody's going to know when that'll happen unless if you follow the trends, you follow the markets, the charts, the stocks, all these different financial areas. And you see how the different countries are buying up these metals. Majority of them a lot of it is gold. There's like about 10 countries that are consuming gold in the tons. And 10 countries as well, and that actually mine the gold. But when I look into all of that, it just simply makes sense to get out of the dollar and hold the precious metals. I mean, not completely out of the dollar, but you're in it just to pay the bills. You have this fake money, so you're paying these things with it. So yeah, it's really eye-opening when you dive deeper and deeper into different areas here. And it has a lot to do with preparedness, and it helps me to better understand what I am prepping, what I'm going into when it comes to preparedness, all things preparedness, and having that precious metals with you, and knowing the difference between real money and fake money, and not being hoodwinked by the powers that be. And because when you're hoodwinked, you don't critically think here and do your research or homework, and you just let the boogeyman do that for you, you're not going to get very far. You need to do this work on your own for yourself and for your family as well. I mean, there's a lot of assets that you could look into financially, but for me, I feel a lot safe and secure with physical precious metals in my hand versus having it on paper or in some type of vault that's far away that I cannot access immediately in the event that there's like a major grid down, a major collapse, and all of that. So, how would I get that right away, like instantaneously? That wouldn't happen. So having it physically in my hand is something very important and vital for someone like me that collects stacks precious metals. Anywho, back to what I was talking about in the beginning. You need to protect your family. You need to protect your children. You need to protect yourself and secure yourself and your children at all times now. Because the border is pretty much donors, and the invasion has happened and has been going on for a couple years now. And so you need to fortify you and your family now and train your children to defend themselves, to defend one another. I'm afraid that it's coming down to this, and I think we all know this as preppers. We gotta do what we gotta do. So continue to be prepared. Continue to prepare in all areas of preparedness. Now we will have to shift and bring to the forefront the area of preparedness in security and protection of ourselves, our family, our home, and our way of life. Have a good day. Aloha.